everybody, it's Carrie with Seed to Spoon. I was out here in the garden about to plant some different varieties of lettuce, and I thought that I would talk briefly about 3 of our favorite types of lettuce that we have and what the differences are and why we like to grow each one. The first type of lettuce that we grow is called a loose leaf lettuce. So an example of that, the one that we grow, is the black-seeded Simpson. This one is really good and it's great for beginners because it's relatively easy to grow, it's fast growing, it's quick to germinate. It's just one of the easier types of lettuce. So if you struggle with growing food, maybe start with a loose leaf lettuce. And they're known for being like a soft lettuce more than the like crispier lettuce. So this is more of a soft loose leaf lettuce. With loose leaf lettuces, you can usually get a harvest within about 30 to 45 days. The next variety that we grow is a butter crunch or bib. And this one that we got is a lettuce butter crunch. And this is what we grow here whenever we want something a little bit more crispier than the loose leaf. So this is kind of the in the middle lettuce. And this lettuce is actually one of the prettiest. It is very beautiful. It's known for like its heart shape. It's very ornamental. So this one, it'll take longer to mature than the loose leaf lettuces. So this will be more like 50 to 60 days or so before you can start harvesting from it. But it's one that we always have around too. The last variety of lettuce that we really enjoy planting is a romaine lettuce, or as you'll see it referred to as Cos a lot on your seed packets. So this one that we have here is a Paris Island Cos lettuce. So this is a romaine. So these romaine lettuces are going to be one of the more crispy lettuce and really good, really tasty. It will take longer to get a harvest from it, usually about 60 to 80 days or so. And the really good thing about growing romaine lettuce, it is really adaptive to a bunch of different climates. So, it does really well in cool and warm. Obviously you can't grow it in too hot, but still, it's one of the better, more adaptive lettuces that you can grow. So I'm gonna go through in this big bag bed smart pot. This is a 100-gallon smart pot. I'm gonna go through and plant probably a row of each variety, just because I love having all 3 and having different harvests at different time. It's really beneficial for us, and I just love having a different variety. They're different textures. They bring even different colors too, and it makes it a lot more fun eating in the kitchen too, and way more likely that the kids will eat it too. By planting a bunch of different varieties, you also increase the chances that you'll have a good harvest, because sometimes a certain variety won't do well with certain conditions that you have growing, certain weather conditions. So it's really good to have a different variety of different types of lettuces. So I do want to mention there is one group of lettuces that I didn't mention earlier, which includes like the iceberg lettuces. So those ones we don't personally enjoy growing just because it takes a very long time for those ones to mature and develop the full head of lettuce. And our weather here we're in central Oklahoma, in zone 7. So our weather can be very finicky and we get lots of storms and hail and winds. And so it's really hard to grow iceberg lettuce here from start to finish. So we tend to like these 3 varieties better because they're faster. We're more likely to get a good harvest. And plus I personally just like them better too. So a lot of people don't realize that you can plant lettuce in the fall, and fall is actually a great time to plant lettuce. And especially where we are, we do a lot of, I don't know if you can see in the background, we do these PVC dome greenhouses. So we put this over top of our beds, and then whenever we have a freeze, we put a plastic sheeting over top of it to protect them. And it really extends our growing season. A lot of the times we can have lettuce clear through, maybe January even, depending on our weather. We can a lot of times still be harvesting lettuce in our garden, which is amazing. And lettuce is also good to plant in the spring too, but it will tend to die off once it gets warm in the summer. But you can work on, using the sunlight to your advantage, and using the shade to your advantage in the sun, and try to extend into the warm season by having some shade in the afternoon. Lettuce is actually one of our favorite things to grow. I mean, simply just because it is something that we eat a lot of, so it makes it so we don't have to go to the store as much. And lettuce is something that I personally don't like to buy at the stores just because there are so many recalls. I feel like every time I turn around I hear of another like salmonella outbreak in romaine lettuce, and it's so much better just to grow my own, and then I don't have to stress about that. So I know exactly what goes into this. I'm not worried about them being contaminated. And I mean, it saves us a lot of money too. This is actually one of the more cost-effective things that gardening can help with is, you know, the greens, because we buy a lot of greens and they can be really pricey at the grocery store. So this is a way that we can really save money. And if you'd like to learn more about growing lettuce or growing your own food, make sure you check out our free From Seed to Spoon mobile app. It's available for download in the iOS and Android store, and it'll walk you through growing over 100 different fruits, vegetables, herbs, and it'll talk about everything. I mean, from getting started growing your own food and all the way through to harvesting and companion planting, pest management, things like that. And you can also log whenever you plant your seeds. So after I plant these, I'm gonna go into the Garden Plus and I'm going to document in there that I planted some seeds today, and it will tell me exactly when these seeds should be sprouting, when I should be expecting to harvest it, all of that information. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us today, chatting about lettuce. We've been making a lot of videos every day out here in the garden, planting a bunch of different things this fall. So if you're interested in growing food in the fall, make sure you check out some of our more recent videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.